Good morning, everyone. Once again, another day and another release from Southern Cross Gold. I'm very happy to release 3 holes today, 2 of which were up dip holes from hole 50. That was our big hole late last year, the start of this year, where we hit 305.8 meters at 2.4 grams gold equivalent. We've been spending the last 6 to 7 months drilling across the host structure, the rails of the ladder, so we can start to understand where that body goes in 3 dimensions. The high grades are the rungs of the ladder, and now that's what we're just starting to test. And you will start to see, and I'll share some verify presentations, and you'll start to see where our holes are, where we're now starting to drill across the rungs parallel to the rails of the ladder. This is our first hole parallel to the rails of the ladder, 78, and bang, we've hit the grade, we've hit the zone where we announced our strategy last week, which was to demonstrate grade, and 78, the key hole in this release, did that in spades, had 5 individual zones greater than 20 grams gold, 2 went above 100 grams gold. It hit 5 high-grade structures. The highlight was 11.2 meters at 10.6 grams gold equivalent, but it hit 5 other zones, and you'll see that in the press release. It's probably waving around my head now. And it showed continuity over 250 meters up dip from hole 50 towards the surface. So it also demonstrated volume. We're trying to build tons and grade, of course, and that's how you work to a resource, but this shows the continuity of those 5 structures over 250 meters. So a great hole. And then the other 2 holes that we released were hole 74 and 76. Not the grade in those holes, but some great understanding of the geological architecture. And we've now been able to nail down a key fault that separates the rising sun from the Apollo area, and those 2 holes allowed us to do that, which will add infinite understanding as we continue to drill more. And this press release also discusses the multiple zones of visible gold that we've encountered in 2 holes drilled parallel to the rails of the ladder at a high angle to the rungs. That's 77B and 82. 82 is still in progress. 77B is finished and is now in the lab, and we're awaiting results. But okay, we're going to start looking at the verify presentation that will be available on our website over the next day or so. Here's some drill core, a beautiful piece of drill core, about 20 centimeters long. It's about 40 centimeters in diameter, brecciated dike and altered sediments with some quartz carbonate veining. But the key thing here is that you can see this visible gold, and that's what we refer to in 77B and 82, that we can see this visible gold through the hole. And I just wanted to start with that because it makes for a spectacular little look at what we're looking for, but it will put it in context. So this is Sunday Creek as it stands today. Black holes of what we've drilled, yellow holes are in the lab. You can see that little bit of visible gold there comes from this part of hole 77B. We can see here, this is hole 78. We can see here, this is hole 76 and hole 74 of this release. So if we put some grades on what we're looking at here, we can see the pink are the plus 20 gram samples. The red that you can see here are the plus 50 gram samples, and the yellow are the visible gold hits. So we can start to see there's a lot of very high grades here. And if we just focus again, this was hole 78. So it hit some very good grades. This is hole 50 down here, 250 meters above. So there's the spacing, and then you can see the visible gold in 82. It's still drilling this hole, so That's an exciting hole. And then we may just rotate around a little bit around this orientation, and you can start to see behind those words, this is hole 77B. So rotating that around, putting that dike breccia host, the altered sediments in green, we can start to see in plan view where all these holes sit. It's like hitting goldfish in a fish bowl in terms of hitting the mineralized host, because it's very narrowed down now. You can see the dike breccia host through here. They're the rails of the ladder, and then the high grades, the rungs, are in this orientation. And that's what you can see when we rotate around here. The grey are the rungs, essentially. We've drilled a lot more than the veins that we've shown through here. You can start to see that we've got mineralisation down the bottom of this Apollo area specifically, and we need to extend these veins lower. The model's a bit behind our drilling. And you can see why 77 was such a great hit, because it started to hit very high grades of gold, as I've said, above 250 meters above 50, and puts it all into context there. One other key point that we spoke about in the release is that hole 76 and hole 78 define the Gold Norb fault. And that, if we look in plan view, is what we can see here. You can see that the host horizon continues here and is offset here across this Gold Norb fault. Now, that's put everything in context, and one of the most exciting things, and quite sad things if you think about it from the old timers' point of view, is that they saw a rising sun here with one structure essentially, and then there was not a lot of opportunity for these structures to make it to the surface, because they were truncated at depth beneath this Gold Norb fault. So as soon as we started to drill deeper, and this is hole 50, that's how we saw these incredible widths, nearly 500 meters of mineralization between those two endpoints. And you can start to see that hole 78 recreated that, and some of the deeper drilling that we're doing down here with 82, etc. So the definition of that fault has given context to the blowout of mineralization at depth beneath the rising sun, and why holes like hole 50, etc. were so great. And then it just shows that rising sun is an offset to the Apollo mineralization, which you can see out here. So the architecture of and the structural architecture is better understood. The controls on grade and how we're finding it with that ladder analogy, the multiple drill holes that exist in the laboratory, those yellow drill holes that you can see here. You can start to see that little bit of core where it comes from down here that we started this Verify presentation with. And then equally, the third category of what we're doing from a strategy point of view is increasing the volume, targeting high grade, and then demonstrating the scale regionally. So we're not going to cover that in this presentation, but the mineralization host continues that way with historic mines for 10 kilometers. So a system that is regional, a system that's developing some extraordinarily high grades, and we're building the volume and really targeting on those higher grades. So a very exciting development. Stay tuned for more results imminently as we have 4 drill rigs continually drilling, with another 26 kilometers now approved to drill from now until April. So thank you very much. An exciting day for Southern Cross as we continue to de-risk and build ounces hole by hole.